It. So area of a rectangle. Okay, area equals length times width. And you're most likely going to start with A equals LW, length times width. Use that one a lot. So for showing your work, it's pretty straightforward. Area equals LW, area equals 11 times 24. So that can be 10 times 24, which is 240, and 1 times 24, which is 24. So altogether, 264. So the area equals 264 centimeters squared. Don't need to write this. That's just what you should be doing in your head to help you. Okay, doing some mental math. Next one. If a square is still LW, but since it's side length and side length, okay, we change that to side times side, and we use exponents. It's going to be side squared, and the reason why I wrote side is because the S looks like a 5. So really, you're just going to start right here. Area equals S squared. All the other stuff is just for you to know. Okay, and so for us, it's going to be 8 squared. It's going to be 64 centimeters squared. Okay. Then sometimes you're going to get a shape like this. A couple different ways of attacking it. Number one, you can split into area 1 and area 2 and add them up. So area total equals area 1 plus area 2. That'll totally work. It won't work for everything though. So usually what we like to do is we like to imagine this is one super large shape, and then we want to take away the cutout. Okay, so the area total equals the area of the entire object minus the area of the cutout. So we have here the entire object would be length times width minus length times width, having different lengths and widths. So the large one would be 5 times 9. Okay, so you can use a multiplication sign or brackets. Okay, so it's 5 times 9 using brackets, minus, the 2 I see, but what would be the other dimension? Well, this here is going to be 9 minus 5, 4. So you're going to look at the other dimensions and sometimes subtract to find a new dimension. So it's going to be 2 times 4. So the area is 45 minus 8, which is 37 meters squared. Okay, so we always find square meters. Any questions? Always stop me if you have a question. Okay, always, always, always. I do go fast. Okay. So, area of a triangle. Area equals base times height divided by 2. Or, technically, it's area equals 1/2 times base times height. Those are the same formulas. Okay. So it's kind of half a rectangle. That's what you're finding. Be careful, you have to find the height. Okay, base and height join at 90 degrees. Okay, you want to make sure you don't use numbers you don't need. We often, for a triangle, give you numbers you don't need. So for the first one, area equals base times height divided by 2. That's your formula. Then you substitute in base is 16 times your height of 8.5 divided by 2. Okay. Now, you can also go 16 divided by 2 times 8.5. It doesn't matter when you divide by 2. So if you're doing mental math, that might be easier. Okay. Now, I don't like decimals. Anytime I have a decimal, I usually always go to my calculator. And so I'm just going to go 8 times 8.5. Why did I use 8? Because I can do that in my head, right? So you can do parts of it in your head. You don't need to rely on your calculator totally. So the answer is 68 centimeters squared. Okay, good. Now we're going to get a compound shape. We have a rectangle plus a triangle. So the area of this one is going to be length times width plus base times height divided by 2. So we have the rectangle and the triangle. So we have 14 times 12, or 12 times 14. And the base of the triangle is 7. The height is 12 divided by 2. Okay. 14 times 12, any takers? 140, 28, 168. Plus, ooh, this is an easy one. 12 divided by 2 is 6 times 7, 42. So total, what is it? 210 centimeters squared. Now I'm going to check that because you know what? Me and my adding skills aren't that great, and I do make mistakes all the time. So stop me when you see a mistake because it happens frequently. So go too fast. Okay. Any questions? Okay, next one would be the same deal. All right. Now the 4 meters down here is also the 4 meters right up there. Let's not do that one though, because we just finished it for B. It's exactly the same. Okay. So you have to look at different places for different measurements. A parallelogram, you might see it once in a while. It's just like a rectangle. Except instead of length times width, they go base times height. Okay, so you got to look for 90 degrees. Okay, so this here is not needed. You don't need that measurement right there. All right, next one. So area equals base times height. Area equals 10 times 6. And 60 centimeters squared. Okay. Next one, exact same deal. Okay, we're not going to go over that one. Area of a circle, this one. Area equals pi times r squared. Okay. So for this question, or all circles, diameter equals 2 times the radius. And the radius is the diameter divided by 2. Always got to watch out for that. Okay, always watch out for that. So this here we have area equals pi r squared. Area equals pi times 6 squared. So area equals pi times 36. And we don't write it as pi times 36. We always put our coefficient number in front. So 36 pi. Okay. Final answer. So you incorporate your algebra with a surface area. Okay. Now that's the answer you're going to see on the test. Sometimes we'll say round to 1 decimal. Then you go to a decimal. So you want to use the pi button on your calculator. Okay, not 3.4. Okay, so in grade 8, lots of you probably use 3.14. That's not going to be accurate enough for us. So for us, we're just going to type in 36 times pi. Some people can even just go 36 pi on the calculator, and it automatically multiplies it. So I will go 36 times pi equals 113.097. Let's round to the nearest tenth. So our final answer will be 113.1 meters squared. Okay. Questions about the circle? Anyone? Ruby, question? No? How many people have seen this before, 36 pi? As final answers. Okay. You can see it a lot, so you get used to it. Now, for this next shape, right, like this is this is the answer I'd expect for a circle. But because here we're combining two of them, you'd want a decimal for this one. Okay. So let's round to the nearest hundredth for this shape. How many decimals is the nearest hundredth? 2. Okay, 2. So here, our units is an issue. 1.2 meters, 80 centimeters. What should we convert the 1.2 into? 120 centimeters. Okay, so multiply it by 100 to go from meters into centimeters. All right, so area equals length times width plus pi r squared. We divide by 2 because it's half a circle. Okay. So 120 times 80 plus pi times what squared? 40 squared. Okay. So here we have, what's 8 times 12? 96? How many zeros? 2. Plus, what's 4 times 4? 16. So what's 40 times 40? Nope, you should have 2 zeros. Okay. Plus 1600 pi divided by 2. Okay. So 9600 plus 800 pi. Now you should go to your calculator. Go for it. 9600 plus 800 times pi. .27 centimeters squared. Okay. Any questions? Right. Do you guys have this worksheet? No, it's a different one, isn't it? You have this one? Okay. There's your homework for tonight. You have until 11:02, which is half an hour. You should be done. Okay. Yeah, just the worksheet front and back. Okay. You can use it. Yeah, we can check that. Show some work. Most of these will be FSS, formula, substitute, solve. Yep. No, we're in worksheet. All of the worksheet. Yes, front and back.